Hello everyone, welcome back to my auditing lecture series. Of course, we are continuing with company auditor. I hope you remember our previous classes that is regarding the company auditor, his role, his rights, his duties, and liabilities. Today we are going to focus the last aspect of company auditor, that is company's audit report. To say the meaning, auditor report is a written letter from the auditor containing the opinion of whether a company's financial statements comply with the generally accepted accounting principles or not. So, company auditor ಅವರ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಆಡಿಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸಿದ ನಂತರ ಅವರು ಒಂದು ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಆಡಿಟರ್ಸ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಡಿಟ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಟು ದ ಶೇರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಂಪನಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ಆಡಿಟ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಒಪಿನಿಯನ್. So here containing his opinion. So opinion is regarding company's financial statements. And again, whether it follows generally accepted accounting principles or not. So it is the major intention behind this audit report. It states whether the financial statements reflects true and fair view. So that is the reports prepared by the auditor. The standard format maintained as per the generally accepted auditing standards. So it should be prepared according to the standards specified by GAS. That means generally accepted auditing standard. So what is the importance of this audit report? So here we can find out there are plenty and we can list out the major things here. It gives insight into the company performance. So whether it's the financial statements are believable or not, whether it reflects the accurate things or not, that can be identified by audit report. Summary of audit work. So auditors audit work can be done throughout the year, but he used to prepare a single audit report at the end of financial year. So it is the summary of audit work. An avenue to express impartial opinion. Auditor is an independent person and he should represent his impartial opinion regarding company's performance. It's the end product of audit process. We already seen that audit report is the output of audit work. It's the legal evidence, so they can consider this audit report as a legal evidence. Ensures legal compliances in maintaining accounts. ಅವರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಕಂಪನಿಯ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವ್ಯೂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸಿಚುಯೇಷನ್ ಆಡಿಟ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತದೆ ವೆದರ್ ದೀಸ್ ಫಿನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ ರಾಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸಿಚುಯೇಷನ್ ಆಡಿಟ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ will helps. So the contents of audit report, how it should be. So it should be simple one and it should be clear one. It should be simple, it should be clear, and it should be convincing ability. So even the general public should be able to understand this because audit report is submitted to the shareholders. So these shareholders should be able to understand the audit report. It should be accuracy of the facts. They should represent the accurate figures. And here, unbiased opinion. Of course, he is an independent person from the management. Yes. And it should be honest presentation. He should believe on his audit report and conciseness. Of course, you cannot give 80 pages or 100 pages of report or 200 pages or 300 pages. It should be simple, clear, and conciseness. It should be short, to the point explanation. It should be attractive. It should be coherent. It should cover all the facts and figures of the company regarding its performance. And it should bear the auditor's signature. So it is the important aspect. He should sign his report at the end. And contents of audit report. So here we are going to find out the detailed version. So the first thing he should cover is whether he obtained all the information or not. He should mention whether he obtained all the information required for his audit work. Or audit ವರ್ಕಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ informations ಅನ್ನ company provide ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. That he should specify. Whether the branch office report included in the report or not. Whether it is only regarding the head office or including branch. That he should mention. Whether the balance sheet and the profit and loss account are in accordance with the books of accounts. It is a major portion or the major intention. Whether it's according to the books of accounts or not. If there is any loopholes or any differences in between the books of accounts and these two statements, he should mention here. Whether the financial reports comply with the accounting standards, generally accepted accounting standards, whether the company follows this gap or not. He should mention comments on financial matters which have adverse effect on financial position of the company. Suppose company entered into a new agreements with uh, new contracts. In that situation, of course, the contracts will have adverse effects on company or may positive effects on company. That should be commented by the auditor. Disqualification of directors, if any. So, if any of the directors disqualified for his position, that should be identified and mentioned in the auditor's report. Any other matters which have adverse effect on the maintenance of accounts. Whether the company is having adequate financial control with a reference to financial statements. So, it is the major intention of audit report. These points will cover or should be covered by auditor in his report. Of course. So it should be to the point explanation should be done regarding all these points in his reports. So let us see the two major types of audit report. The first one is unqualified or clean report, and the second one qualified report. So unqualified or clean report means uh, the report given by the auditor when he haven't found any loopholes in the company or he haven't found any such frauds or scams in the company. And qualified report is the report given by the auditor when he finds some mismatch in the company. ಅವರ ಫಿನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತಹ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ಗಳು ತಪ್ಪುಗಳು ಇಲ್ಲದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಆಡಿಟರ್ ಕೊಡುವಂತ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಚಿಟ್. ನಾವು ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಚಿಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಏನು ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಯೂಸೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ವೆನ್ there is nothing adverse uh, 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 effects or things identified by the auditor. If he find out any loopholes in such situation, the report given by the auditor is called as qualified report. So let us see one by one. Unqualified or clean report. So when these kind of things will be given or whatever the material should be covered here. So he should mention that the company followed GAP, that means generally accepted accounting principles. So company GAP ಅನ್ನು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. The second thing, changes in the accounting principles if any. So accounting principles ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ changes ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ that should be reported by the auditor. Maybe accounting principles. So maybe ಒಂದು depreciation methods ಅನ್ನ follow ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. Then they shifted to some other methods because of some reasons, valid reasons. So in such situation, that should be specified here. Statutory requirements. So any changes according to the statutory requirement that should be mentioned, and adequate disclosure of all the relevant matters. So company ಶೇರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾದಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಹಿತಿಗಳನ್ನ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಸೊ that should be represented in report. So in such situation, these kind of reports are clean report or unqualified report. And the second category is qualified report. So dissatisfaction or insufficient information. So he should mention his dissatisfaction. ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫೈಡ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ಆಡಿಟರ್ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಕಾರಣ? ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಹಿಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ಸಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್. ರೀಸನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫೈಯಿಂಗ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್. ಯಾವ ರೀಸನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅವರು ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫೈಡ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? So that might be some mismatch in the gap, generally accepted accounting principles, or he has found out some loopholes in the financial statements. So that should be mentioned here. Significant matters which affects the affairs of company, whether any new contract entered by the company and it is having some adverse effect, that should be identified here. Or disqualified audit directors. So that should be identified here. Significant matters which affect the performance of the company and violation of any prevailing law. So if you find out such violation, that should be mentioned here. If you mention any of these aspects, so such reports are considered as qualified report. So hope you understood the today's concept, that is auditor's report. Thank you for watching. Take care and happy learning.